going to cut to big news coming in from Anantnag. Big win for forces as the terror operation has been successful. One unidentified terrorist has been neutralized in Anantnag. The forces continue to hunt for two more Lashkar terrorists. This is one terrorist gunned down, a confirmation coming in. One should know that this encounter has been on for nearly 4 days and it's claimed the lives of 4 Jawans. And even as we cope with the death of our soldiers, here's one big success of one unidentified terrorist who's been gunned down by the forces on the 4th day of this encounter in Anantnag. The Anantnag-Kokarnag region, there's been fresh firing, reports of fresh firing that surfaced right from the start of today. That almost signifies that it's been 4 relentless days of a fight that the Indian Armed Forces has been having with those terrorists. About 2 more who are yet hiding in those forest areas. Search on for them. But one terrorist has been successfully gunned down. Kamaljeet Sandhu joins us live for more on that. Kamaljeet, 4 days on and we have news of one unidentified terrorist who's been neutralized. Tell us a little more on how many more could be hiding in that forest area of Kokarnag.
You know, the operation is in progress and official details will come in later, only after the operation concludes, but our sources clearly indicating to us there have been 4 casualties so far, 3 of them officers, 1 of them a Jawan, but the Jawan's body was not retrieved, but the drone camera has captured 2 bodies. So one has been identified as the army Jawan, but the other, we've been told, is the body of the terrorist. So yes, the encounter has taken place and we've seen since morning there wasn't really much firing, but just about an hour ago there was incessant firing, heavy blasting which was done, which goes to show that the encounter is very much on. There was 1 hour of rains right here. But the other part is in Kokarnag, the terrain is so difficult. It seems, and our sources clearly indicating to us, that it may actually go in and take a day or so more. So it could be day 5 or day 6 also. Though there was preparation that there could be conclusion, but just because there is a renewed firing and there was firing happening when there was a sweeping up operation which was done, which is usually done when it's in conclusion, which goes to show that the terrorists are still very active. But remember, there are several hideouts and we've been told there are many natural caves and cavities in the forest area, because of which hiding is easier for these terrorists. Now, there are weaponized drones, there are surveillance drones which have been utilized. The RPG has been put into service, but it does seem that this is an uphill task as far as security forces, especially the Indian Army, is concerned. We also saw Lieutenant General Upendra Trivedi, who was here leading from the front. The GOC Victor Force was also monitoring the situation. So the top guns of the Indian Army are here. They're monitoring the situation. There has been a success for the Indian Army, especially when it comes to Baramulla area, where 3 infiltrating terrorists have been killed. There has been a briefing there also. But clearly, this is a very long and arduous encounter which has gone on. And obviously, at this point of time, the key focus is to eliminate all these terrorists who are hiding. There could be 2 to 3 in number, as we've been told.
Right.
1 terrorist down, which is left with maybe another 1 or 2.
You know, Kamaljeet, when we say 4 days, 5 days on, these are relentless efforts. Our Indian Army is at that highly volatile region, day and night. Sleeping, waking up hours, and of course through the day and night that firing is on, not knowing what areas are safe, where those terrorists are hiding. So this really calls for a lot of strength and struggle. And we can't thank them enough. It's very unfortunate that 4 of our Jawans have lost their lives in the last 4 days itself in this encounter. But tell us the challenges that could be faced by our armed forces. It's unimaginable.
So there is a very sharp incline. That is why the assault team, which had initially gone in, took at least 7 to 8 hours to really climb that mountain. And it is only when they thought, because of the heavy vegetation and foliage, that they could not really find any terrorists. When they were speaking amongst themselves for the next course of action, that is from a vantage point of view, They were fired upon. In the first burst of fire itself, we lost 3 of our officers and later 1 of our jawans. But again, it's the terrain, it's also the weather. It has rained. This has also caused a lot of delay because this is not just a normal road. This is a highly vegetation foliage area. This is also forested area. There's also a lot of wildlife. They have to ensure that there's no further casualty. That is why the use of technology is there.
Yeah.
But it is because it's so heavily forested. One has to be very, very careful when you step inside. There could be booby traps, there could be IEDs, there could be any sort of trappings. That now has to be seen. And even when they're blasting these particular hideouts, several of those footage are now available because of the surveillance drone. That is when they have to be very careful when they go inside because there could be deadly danger even there. So this is going to really take time, is what our sources are indicating to us.
Right.
But for the security forces, a shot in the arm is that there are 1 terrorist which have been killed.
Absolutely.
There have also been
that's a
successes,
huge boost.
The Baramulla encounter in the Uri area.
Yeah, and we have Ashraf Ani for more information to come in on the Baramulla encounter that's currently underway. And that's the big news I'm taking my viewers through. The Indian Army exposes Pakistan's hand in Uri's terror bid. This is the big update that we have on the Uri terror bid that currently goes on, where there's reports surfacing about Pakistan Army has aided the Baramulla terrorists. In fact, Pakistan Army, some of the Army personnel have given cover fire to terrorists, and 5 kgs RDX was also found on one of the terrorists, is what we are told. This Baramulla counter-terror operation has been called off. Search operation for the 3rd terrorist's body continues, as we believe that 3 terrorists were neutralized in the Uri region by our armed forces. The Indian Army now exposing a Pakistan hand in the Uri terror bid, as the Indian Army says that Pakistan Army has aided Baramulla terrorists. The Pakistan Army has given cover fire to those terrorists, with one of those terrorists finding almost 5 kgs of RDX on one of those terrorists neutralized.